No, not Apple Jacks. Australian JPY. Anything crossed with AUD. Look on the big board. There's tons. Think about how powerful that is. You can come back on the third hit when they come back and change the session over, and you could still take this after you've had all night. Okay? Chasing this currency after it's left the station is an absolute no-no, or whatever you want to call it. I got to hit you on the hand or do my fingers, like shame on you. Chasing this after it's left is an absolute no trade. That's why this says no trade zone. When they shift the zone away from the higher level long holders, it's too late, man. There's ways to get in that, but it's for the advanced traders. I don't want you to do that right now. I want you to simply take a short off the high and a long off the low and be able to add contracts. Your entry is comfortable anywhere in here. The second pass goes, doesn't take out the high, you can enter in here. 30 to 90 minutes while it holds. If they make another pass and don't take it out, restart the clock, the trade's still valid. And then look what happens. US changeover, they don't take out the high, lights out. Straight red bars, an hour and 30 minutes to profit. First consolidation zone. Right, then another drop. Simple. Do not try to, a lot of you guys are trying to turn this into a W. You have to understand they worked the high today. If they work the high first, you're looking for short opportunities. If they work the low first, understanding where the peak is, which I'll talk about, you have to understand they work the low first, you're a buyer against the trend. If they work the high first, you're a seller against the retail trader's trend. You got to think like these guys, not like a textbook retailer. Okay? Hope you guys are understanding. All right. We're going to cover some rules to profit by, and then we'll take a 5 or 7 minute break, okay? Here we go. Write these down. I'm going to go slow. Stop trading every day. Trading every day lines the broker's pocket. Doesn't line your pocket. Now, I'm not saying take off and show up once a week. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm telling you is you need to show up in your office every day at a set time. Look for the setups. I'm going to give you the window of opportunity when those 2 times come. If there's no setup, there's no trade. Don't sit there staring at the chart going, oh, man, maybe that's a second leg of an M or a W. I don't know. Might take it. You're over. It's done. That's it. I want you to find the crystal clear setups that form the big W's and the M's or multi-sessions, the easy-to-read stop hunts where you will be successful. What's the difference if you take 10 trades with 1 lot or find the absolute pristine setup you know is going to pay out and take it with 10 lots? Hit your 50, pick up $5 grand for the week and be done. And have no stress, no worry, no aggravation. That's how you got to start thinking. You got to start thinking like a market maker, not like a retail trader. That activity or the 9 to 5 mentality where you got to come in your office and trade every day because you showed up. That is crap mentality and leads to failure. Learn to become highly selective of the setups that I'm showing you. If it scares you, if the variation on the theme messes with you, that's a pass. I promise you there'll be another one tomorrow in more pristine condition than maybe the one you passed on. I promise. Okay, I want you to set your trading hours like this. Times are Eastern. I want you to show up in your office around 12, 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I want you to look for the setups at the end of the blue box, which is the last 1/3 to 1/4 of the Asian session, and go to about mid-London, around 4 hours. Take a break. Zen and his wife Diane have a lot of children. I lose track sometimes. They cannot stay up at night. They trade the red box in the morning after they leave their kids off for school. After you trade the Asian session, if you want to come back, and most of you do, you can't stand it, take a break, take a nap, clear your head, walk the dog, smoke a pack of Subio. Then trade the red box for about 2 to 4 hours, from 8 to 11, 8 to 10. And that's it. Don't stand like a zombie and stare at the screen. It's not necessary. That's the behavior that leads to destruction of your account. Okay? Now after the break, I'm going to explain to you why these rules apply. Yeah, Subi, eat some black chocolate, man. That's good stuff, especially from where you are in France. It's really good. Okay, so listen. Here's how you do. Show up in your office. You're going to immediately be able to do a check down on the chart. I'll show you how to do it. You look back 3 to 5 days, identify the peak formation, and see where you are in the cycle. WVVM, MAAW. I'll draw it for you. Don't worry. I'm just telling you about it. Okay? You know where you are in the cycle, what day of the cycle you're at. You have the technicals worked out. You don't have to draw lines and fibs and crap on the chart. Okay? Depending on your dealer, the blue box ends between 1 and 3 a.m. Daylight savings time, it moves back. I don't change mine. I leave it at 2 o'clock. I don't change it. When the clock goes back, I don't care. Just leave it. It's too much work. Become highly selective. Take a break in the middle. Come back for the end of the London session, the beginning of the U.S. session, and make sure you encompass the 9:30 equities market, U.S. equities market open, in order to be there for the breaks. Right? You got to encompass that couple of hours because they might come in and hammer a brinks for you, and you got to take that trade. If you're done in the London session and get your 50 pips, Marta, if you're listening, don't give it back in the U.S. session. Okay? I think tomorrow, or tomorrow's Thursday already, I think tomorrow Zen is going to cover what him and his wife do for the U.S. session. Okay? All right, it's 7 o'clock. Let me pull up my little stopwatch. I didn't do it yet. Hold on. Okay, I tried to answer some of your questions on the break that were pertinent to where we were. Coke, very nice statement. Thank you. He had an aha moment last night. That's the whole point, man. Okay, here we go. I want you to learn to capture 50 pips, and right now, not 1 pip more. You're going to be able to add contracts, man. Greed kills all good traders. Here's what I want you to think about for a minute. If you accidentally get jammed up in the stop hunt, you should still be able to book a profit going the wrong way if you aim for 50. Okay? So if you learn to not be too selfish or crazy or greedy or whatever the right word is, and learn to extract 50 pips consistently out of the market, even if you trade the wrong directional bias, you got a shot at hitting your limit. I can tell you that Zen is an excellent trader. But like all men, we got to get more, right? It's the testosterone. We got to beat these guys and beat the hell out of them, get more and more and more. And he struggled with this when I first taught him about 1.5 years ago. He insisted on trying to lift his take profit and go for more, and I told him why. A lot of times when he lifted it, he would end up with plus 30 or 35 because they would make the retracement on him, and he would be damn it and take his 35 pips off. When he locked in his mind, the take profit needs to be a fixed target, and he'll be in and out in 3 to 5 bars. When they shift the zone and start pulling away, he'll hit his limit and just start using contracts to compensate for the extra pips. His trading turned around completely, and he's now, I can't say he's the master because I think I am, so he has to be the junior master. Anyway, greed kills all good traders, and everybody goes through that phase of where they feel like they can get more and more and more. Don't forget why you got in this business. Time, freedom, and leverage. Use that to your advantage to extract your 50 pips like a master without fail, and add 5 lots or 10 lots or 80 lots when you become proficient. If you know that you're going to hit 8 out of 10, the losers aren't going to bother you because you know you'll get it right back and end the week net profit, net positive. I want you to learn to take only crystal clear setups. Whatever that means to you. I went through this with Lauren last year. I wanted her to pick her signature. And I don't know if she ever did. I can't remember. She sent me an email a while back. She liked 2 pins to the mayonnaise. That was her deal. If you get a stop hunt at 3:30 in the morning and they hit right to the mayonnaise and they issue a pin or a hammer right on the mayonnaise, that's a nice setup. That's going to pay out. That's going to bounce off of the 200 EMA. I'll explain to you why in a little bit. But what you need to do is find what it is that makes you feel all gooey inside. Like, wow, I see that 2 pins in the mayonnaise. I see a W on the 4-hour. I see 3 swipes at the low. When you establish that and become comfortable with it, I want you to focus your homework on that. If you say, Steve, you know what? I'm going to take 3 vector candles to the low, second leg, and I'm going to grab my 50 and be out. Then you need to focus your homework on finding those trades and see how often they pan out. If you decide you're going to focus on multi-session big W spread out over a day or two, and then convert the spot trade to a swing and hold it for 2.5 to 3 day cycle, 200 EMA, my friend. Mayonnaise is 200 EMA. I'll cover it, don't worry. If you catch the midweek reversal or the big W formation over 2 sessions, that's the kind of trade you can hold. If you want a swing trade, obviously you got to hold for more than 50 pips. But when you're learning, if you can't make 50 pips, how are you going to make 250 pips? It comes with time. It's a process. The biggest problem most of you are going to have is flushing the crap out of your head. I don't know how to do that. The old technicals. Coke wrote me a little something on the break that he was hanging out with some of his friends, and they took the wrong directional move based on old technicals, and he said he felt bad because they were going the wrong way, and he knew it. He saw the market through a market maker's eyes or through our eyes as a group and realized those guys are going the wrong way, man. Sorry about their luck. Anyway, that's the stuff I want you to understand. Is that if you see the perfect setup, you can take 50 contracts without fear of loss. If you're trading a 6 out of 10 system, and you're not that good at a 6 out of 10 system, how in the heck are you ever going to put those kind of numbers on comfortably, without fear? Okay? But I want you to understand that if you say, I'm going to take multi-session M's and W's, you go back and look how many times those things pay out 50 pips. Almost always. And you're going to see that the ones that don't hold consolidation and scratch out. When you realize that, which comes from time, screen time, and doing the homework and seeing them, when you realize that, you're going to not be afraid to put 10 standards on there. I'm not telling you to take 10 standards tomorrow. I'm telling you to start small, grow your account, and get yourself into a position where you can take comfortably 2 to 5 trades a week, 1 a day, of the most pristine, perfect setups that will yield you what you need to make to pay your bills and be comfortable. Everybody's different. If you live in New York, you've got to have like 500 trades a week. If you live in Nebraska, you probably got to have 2 trades a week. Depends on your lifestyle. But it's all obtainable here by understanding how these guys behave and controlling your emotions and your greed in the process. Okay? All right. Why 50 pips, Steve? I want to go for 500 pips. Okay. You are not going to deal from the absolute bottom or the absolute top. So let's take 10 to 15 pips off of that number. The move, right? You got to include the spread and slippage that these guys do. That's the business. The bigger your contract size is, the more you'll start to see it. Let's add 5 for slippage and the spread. You got a 2-pip spread, they slip you a pip 3. It's a lot of money with a lot of standard lots on. We all know that all 3 levels are not going to appear every day on the chart. So that limits you to what's going to be available to take.